This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, this is Krishna here. Hope you all can hear me and see my screen. Please ping over the chat window so that I can also know you can able to hear me and see my screen. Can anyone please ping on the chat window so that you can able to hear me for the confirmation? Okay, thank you. So welcome to our session UI, React and Angular. Thank you for your responses. So to start with this React and Angular, so we need to have to get up with few prerequisites. We'll call it as the basic things. So which we have to be aware of, not aware. We need to have the uh, project on these skills, like which is the primarily one is for which gives you the entire web information and you want to display everything, which is like this. So which is HTML is the basic skill everyone has to know. CSS, if you are aware of the CSS and how to implement the CSS and all, will be very much important for making your website more attractive. It gives you that attractive and more user experience. We can. And coming to this, so anyone doesn't know these two skills, please let me know. Chat window. I hope everyone knows HTML and CSS. The it's a time like we will have HTML and CSS wherever we want to apply, and then we'll move to the JavaScript and all. So it's just like that. Okay. So I got only one response. So please be interactive to me so that we will be on a same line so that we can also discuss further on the on JavaScript and ES6 is the next topic what we have to discuss. So if you know about this HTML and CSS, please let me know. Or anyone, if you are not know these two things, please let me know on the chat window so that we will discuss few things on this HTML, CSS, and then we will move to the JavaScript and ES6. Knows? Got only one response. CSS. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So most of the people know HTML and few people doesn't know CSS, and um, 1% doesn't know anything. So which is like here, so we need to have to first we need to have to build simple web pages like using the HTML without any CSS and with using the basic HTML, this thing. So for that, what I am suggesting is like you just simply download this Sublime Text, which is for giving you the good syntax and all. So just like here, you can also have the portable version. Sublime Text is the editor for your HTML, and not only HTML, you can do any programs over there, which is like a very lighter one. So you can use this IDE for your programming, basic programming. So if we go for the advanced programming, I suggest like Visual Code is the better one. And if you can see, I this Visual Code is also available over here. So this is the URL for the Visual Code. I'm trying to ping you on the chat window. Okay, you can download the Sublime Text. It is very simple and very easy. So in the meanwhile, so we can see like what else we can do with this. So this is the Sublime Text, and if you can use the Sublime Text application directly, you can run this. It needs an whatever the installation, it should be there. So you can simply download the Sublime Text, and you can use that Sublime Text for your editor. So let me also do that in the simultaneously in the system so that we can also know. Sometimes the portable, as it is open source, I'm preferring you to download the .exe, so which is like it will be useful. So portable sometimes it is not supporting for few systems as my system does. So let's start. So in the meanwhile, like, so HTML is nothing but the hypertext markup language where the browser and everything, like whatever you see in the browser, so that is everything we can see that information will be encoded in HTML. So which is like HTML will be like all those information we will be representing in elements. So in HTML we'll be having elements, and this will be called also the element, whatever the element were. For example, if you are using the paragraph, and also paragraph is an element, so which is like which it will be defined using the p element, and this p element will be representing in the starting and ending tags, which is p tag starting tag and p ending tag. So this, the p is a paragraph, and P is an element, where the paragraph is an element, and in representing the HTML, we'll be using P as a starting tag and ending tag. I'll show you in the editor. So once it is opening, likewise. So I have explained one paragraph tag, and if you can see any other elements, so which is like HTML is an element, and head is an element, body is an element. So all those are elements in the HTML. How to represent each element and what is the importance of each thing, we'll see in this. So which is like HTML is the basic body, so which is everything. So if you want to write a document, here I'm saying the document means, so whatever you are writing a page, that page is nothing but a document. So whatever you want to draft something in a document, so in document we'll be writing the paragraphs, images, whatever we do in a Word document. So that document you are representing the same information into a web. So which is like similarly we'll be calling it as a document in web reference. So that is the reason. So this HTML structure, everything will be notated as DOM, which is document object model. So HTML is also known as DOM, which is document object model. So now I'm trying to open the Sublime Text, which the IDE. So it should be like this. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a folder, and now I'm creating a file. So which is I'm saving this file inside my folder with index.html. So why we'll be naming it as index? Anyone have any answers? Why we will be calling it as index? For HTMLs will be writing the index.html, because index is the root page. So which is like index, if you are making it as a root, like index is the routing for every scenario or the project folders. So we can see over in our any projects, if you can see, that will be like index.html, index.jsp, index.aspx, everything will be like the root page will be saved as, or uh, we can write it as a index, or we can use it as a default also in some servers, but index is the main thing. So which is like, if you can see this, what is the main use of this index is where it is coming from is like, so each and everything is a document, right? So which is like, if you are making any, so if you are reading a book also, or if you are taking any content, there will be having an index is nothing but it is the pre-source of whatever the content inside your book or whatever the document you will be preparing, everything will be on that index. So similarly, this index will be giving you as a base home page, which will be having the simple information about all the web. So that is the reason index will be the base root page for any websites. So that is the reason behind that index.html. And coming to here, index.html, if you after saving this index.html, if you click on HTML, it will be giving you the entire structure of it. I'm making, so if you can see here, this is the structure of HTML, where it will be called it as a document type is HTML. So which is doc type is nothing but document type HTML. And after that, the document will be starting with HTML. So which is HTML is the main tag, and in this HTML we'll be having the head and body. And head will be the information where you will be configuring about the browser uh, window, which is like, and this body is the information where it lands. So I'm saving it, and if you can right click on this document and open in the browser, okay, I have done one mistake here. So while saving this folder name, I have given the gap of it, so which is it is not taking UI underscore session, so it is not opening. What we can do is like we can also go here. See, whenever we are giving the folder names into simple break over here, so it will be breaking up. So you can rename this with, if you want any break or something like that, you can also do some underscore kind of thing so that it will not break. Okay, now I have to reload this page. Closing it. Now you can see this. So two things here is like whatever I have written inside the title element. So the title element is appearing over here, which is in the head part, and whatever we are writing in the body part, this is like this. Okay, so after that, like we are, so this is the body. So body will be having exactly no styles and all. So there are predefined tags we'll be having for each and every information to be written. Like we'll be having heading tags. So you can do the experiment over here, which is like heading. So this is a sample header. Likewise, paragraph. So just like giving the styles to it, and importantly, like whatever you are doing over here, so that the HTML, everything will be having a debugger developer tools, which is like here. If you can see, we'll be having the elements and how the HTML is compiling in the elements part, and the console part. This we will be discussing later. Why this console part is there and how to configure all those things. And primarily, most importantly, if you can see here, there is a styles part. So if you are clicking on the header element, the header element is having the default some styles. So which is like here, it is a CSS box model. I'll show you that. If you can see, this is a box model where the margin, border, padding, and the content. So this is the content where you're seeing, and this is the padding, and we haven't given any padding over there. So this is the border, and this is the margin. The default, the header element will be having this particular styles, and it will be like this. You can check like this in your website so that you can know better, and you can also configure over here. So if you want to configure something like that, font size, you can see the changes, what it is happening over there. You can see the paragraph can also become a large size. And if you can see, when I applied a style over here, so which is in the element dot style, it is going inside in a p style. So here the style is called attribute, or some thing we'll be calling it as a property, but property will not related to this. So this is an attribute, and we can also add these styles using the classes. So we'll be having this, and html comments will also be there. So we'll be having these four things, so which is like elements, attributes, classes, and comments. So we have seen like this is an attribute, style is an attribute, and where we can apply the style. So here we have applied like this, right? So, and if you refresh that, it will go off. So what I'm doing is I'm just copying it from here, and I go to my page, and I'm pasting the same. If I do like this, if you refresh the page, it will not go up, so it will be there. So now if you can see the element style, the same thing you can apply inside a style tag in the header part. So this is the style tag, and where p is the selector, and for that I'll be using whatever styles. So here the color is a object, so which is like a value, and whatever the value we'll be using. So the values whatever we'll be giving over here, we can mention like a already defined colors like red, blue, green, and whatever the colors, and sometimes if you want to code something like which is like with the hexa, so which is like a hexadecimal code, so we will be using 3 or 6 digit code over here for the color, something like this. So okay, so if you want to change any color, like this, you can also choose the color open palette, and you can choose the color and choose whatever the color shade, and you can copy from here, and you can simply paste in your code, and if you refresh it, you'll be getting that color over here. So this is how you'll be writing. So whatever the p tag you'll be including, so another paragraph which is coming with the same key with this color. So likewise we'll be having, so you need to so this introduction everything will be for those uh, don't have any idea about it. So you just start working on this basis, so that how to write the HTML and what are the elements and what are the attributes, classes, comments, everything which will be like this. So you just start with this basic thing, so how to use this and all. So in the CSS also we'll be having inline, internal and external. So if you can see the first style what I have included over here, this is called inline CSS. Okay, so this is called the inline CSS. This is called the internal CSS or embedded CSS, and which will be writing in an external file. Like for example, I'll be saving it as a new style dot CSS. I'm saving a document, and whatever I'll be writing over here, sometimes it asks for purchase. Don't mind that. And whatever the CSS, if you are linking from an external file, so which is like here it is in an external file, and if you want to link that, so you need to have to use the link tag where the href is called, so new style.css, so that if you can save that, it will be like this. So this is how this link tag like styles, how you will be using all there. So this is called the external CSS, and previously we have included in the style tag inside the head, that is internal or embedded CSS. And if you're writing inside a element as an attribute, this will be called it as inline CSS. Okay, so you are writing that inline CSS. But comparatively, so this inline CSS is having more priority than your internal and external CSS, because it is inside that element and it is prioritizing your style, whatever you are writing on that. So this is all about the CSS, and CSS will be having, this is called as a selector. So element selector and class selectors and everything will be there. So each selector will be having a property, and properties will be like this. And they can go with any further study on this, so that it will be like you can enhance more better and all. So that is what here. And if you want to write some custom CSS, you will be writing the custom CSS that is like this. And we'll be having class and ID selectors. Class will be notating as a dot. So in this, I'll be taking the color red, and ID selector will be notating using hash. So we'll see first class. So in this, if you can see, this is highlighted rather than this, which is like we'll be having two things. One is element and one is class selector. So which is like class selector is having more weightage over here, so which is getting this inside. Okay, so this is how you'll be implementing, and we'll be having ID selector. ID selector will be using with hash. So the main importance of this tool is like if you are doing any simple mistakes and all, it will be notating through some colors. So which is like, if you can see, this is the wrong syntax, and if you are making use of it, and it will be giving in a white color, so kind of thing, you can also sense over there, so which is doing some and happening some mistake over there. All the time not possible, but it was like uh, implemented almost all the time. So this is an ID, this is class, and this is normal p element. So if you can select this, you can see ID selector. So this is how you can write the CSS using this, and we'll be having descendant, so that if you are having any other elements inside this, and if you want to highlight something like this, if you are using any other, for example, we'll be having a bold tag or a strong tag inside it. You can also see how it will be writing over there. So it is just making the strong over here like this. So you can do and enhance your skills using this simple tool, so that you can try more things. And this is nothing but how you write a simple document. So you're writing a simple document, you're including whatever the styles, and also how you frame the things and how you write the things, everything will be like that. So you just frame a simple document, and with the if you want any images, or if you want some good headers, everything you can customize, and you can also write some simple tags. And there are some customized elements for the structure purpose. In HTML, it was divided with some header, footer, and section, article kind of thing, so that you can make the things in a simple, understandable manner, so that you can frame the things inside it. So this is how you'll be writing this simple HTML document. So I wish like you just try with this CSS and HTML, and I just want you to be ready with this HTML, CSS, and you just uh, as an assignment of today, like you can start with a new page, and you try doing a simple CSS based website for a single page. Just frame the content and try to include whatever you are using over there. And next, coming to this, like I'm leaving this HTML and CSS to you. If needed further support, like I will assist you, like how to write this, and also which is like because all most of the people are already known these things. So which is like if I continue doing this HTML, CSS, and all, it will be um, not good. So I'll be leaving it to you for your research purpose, and you just do that research and let me know if you are not able to do anything like that. So after the session, we will also discuss the few things about it, so that you can also gear up your skills on those things. And now coming to the JavaScript. So how many of you are aware of this JavaScript, and which is ES5? How many of you are aware of it? How many of you know JavaScript? One. I got only one response. How about others? Okay. Any other? Okay. Three. Out of 10, I got only 3 responses. How about others? I'm expecting everyone to interact with me. Please type your, please type your responses. I'm waiting for your response. Okay. Okay. So only 2 people in this room knows about JavaScript and other people don't know. Okay. So I would like to continue with the JavaScript. So which is some basics of the JavaScript from the next session. So hope everyone agree with this. So just like we'll start with the JavaScript and we will continue with the ES6 and all. Then we will got to see other things. Everyone okay with that? Agree with that? Please type your responses over the chat window. If you are not typing anything, okay, one, two, three, four responses. 5. Come on, guys, please type over the chat window. So nothing wrong in interacting. Okay, I think everyone agreed on the same point. So for that, like, I would like to go into a deeper understanding of so how we will be using and all. So our graph will be like this. So which is like HTML, CSS. You do on your own, and I'm also giving you guidelines on Bootstrap and how to use this Bootstrap and all when the when we are implementing simple examples. We can also see how we'll be implementing the Bootstrap and how it is important. And JavaScript, we'll be starting with some basic things, and I'll be providing you a few documents to do some exercise on it. I'll be providing few documents, so I'll be sending after this session so that you can see those documents for the reference, and you can also do some practice on it. And you have to get back to me. So whatever you have tried, so if you are having any doubts, please let me know, because JavaScript is very huge. If you want all the concepts to be covered, it will take at least a lot of time. So which is like based on the like how it is useful and what are the important things, I'll be covering all those things. But there is lot much more on that, so that you will have to come up with some questions or anything. So we'll have definitely we'll have a scenario on that, but I'll cover the most, so which is very much needful for you. Okay, so this is all about this the JavaScript. So we'll be starting from the next session. So then we'll be having the ES6, so just like advanced JavaScript. We can also say advanced JavaScript, and this is very much useful for further understanding on React.js and Angular. JS or Angular, so just like Angular or JS. So, and also let me know if you want Angular JS or not, which is like JS is the first version, so which is like Angular 1, and this is something different. Like the coding structure will be the similar, but A few things it will be changing like it is in the JavaScript, and it will be the structural and architectural changes are there. So it is entirely rewritten on TypeScript. Okay, you don't want Angular JS, right? Okay, so it is like that. So if you can, so this is not taking much time to cover the JS, but what I'm suggesting is like if you can go to the JS, you can see how to migrate to Angular. So I just give you guidelines on this. So just like Angular JS, how to migrate to Angular, which is because the reason behind this is very much needed. So which is like Angular came into the market on 2009, and after that Angular JS came into the market on 2009, and before after that Angular came into the market something around 2013 and also, which is like there is a lot of gap between these two things. So a lot of applications will be developed on the basis of Angular JS, and somehow if you got any chance to uh, migrate those applications into the Angular, you have to definitely know about the Angular JS, the architecture and how it will be going and all. So that is the only reason. And till now, a lot of people are using this Angular JS for developing their applications because it is not, if you can see, the support of the Angular JS is still over here. This is Angular JS, which is available. And if you want to go for the Angular, that is angular.io. So which is for mobile and desktop, it is having support, and it will be having this. So make these all websites handy. So which I am bringing over the chat window. This is for the Angular, and this is for the React. And I'll explain what is this websites and how to make use of these websites furtherly for your uh, any other tutorial or any other documents, how to refer and all. I'll give you the complete understanding on it. Comparatively, React website is not that much user friendly as the Angular does. So which is like uh, React is um, little not comparatively, like it is like not that much interactive, and it will not give you the better idea or better understanding as Angular does. So that is the reason. So which is like React is poor at the documentation. So which as of my point of view. So and Angular is very good at documentation. You can also see a lot of documents and how it will be. And there are a lot of resources available for this to integrate or whatever the IDEs and all, everything should be like this. And when we are starting with this programming and all, I need you to download this Node.js and then Visual Code, these two things. So which is like we'll be see how to download and how to configure in the next coming sessions after the JavaScript. So as we are now in the JavaScript thing, so we will be JavaScript blending everything we'll be doing in this Sublime Text only, as it is simpler and all. So we can write those scripts, everything over here. Okay, so this is question and answer time, like which is like do you have any questions in regarding this, and if you want any changes in this plan what we are going over here, just let me know. We'll make the changes accordingly, and we'll shape up our points. I would like to take from your end, so which is like please unmute your mics and you just please talk, those who have questions.
Yes. Regarding the CSS bootstrap, whether we need to learn our own or will you explain on that?
I'm so sorry, can you be a little louder please?
And now are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. CSS bootstrap, and I think we need to learn our own, or will you explain on that one?
CSS, I'll give you the overview of it, and also I'll give you the overview of Bootstrap also. So how to build a page on the basis of Bootstrap and all, because we are using in all the stages. So we are building a website or web pages using the Bootstrap and CSS in our JavaScript level, and also in the React and also in the Angular.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Any other doubts or questions? Okay. What I'm suggesting is like if you can start working on the day one, like how you have to practice is like you need to have to spend at least 1 hour daily to 2 hours. So this is what I'm suggesting for the week one. And more we are improving more concepts and on. So we need to have to increase these hours and we need to have to so by completion you have to be within this program for at least 6 hours. Why 6 hours mean doing any job? So you need to have to sit at least 8 hours in the system, which is like you need to have to go on this. So you have to get this working style so that if you are able to sit at least 6 hours on particular technology or what you are doing or you are learning something, so that would be easy for you to get your career enhanced in this Prerequisites test or Untitled test or technologies. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Connection got disconnected. And if you can see, we have created a folder structure what I have done today in this session. So if you can see the structure of the folder, and we'll also define the folder structure and how the project structure to look like and all. So which is very much important, and you have to start with the day one. So which is very much important. So start with projects or whatever you want to do in that, and you just create the pages and do some practice. So you just create the folder structures like that. Okay, and any other questions? I'm open for the questions, and we'll see. So any other questions, if you have, please let me know so that we'll conclude the session over here. If you don't have any questions, feel free to drop off. We'll see you in the next session then. Thank you.